once again, it is on. Guys, welcome to the show. Welcome to our weekly podcast. Lexi, how's it going? Your microphone works today, I think.
I'm good. How are you?
Yay! You did it.
You can finally hear everyone.
Okay. And don't worry, like we are going to hopefully purchase some new podcast gear pretty soon.
Hopefully.
Stick around till after the intro. Everybody, welcome to the show. Your weekly show about the music industry for independents, music industry tips, technology, social media. But stick around. After the intro, we have some podcast news. Isn't that exciting, Lex?
Yes.
Craig says welcome back. Welcome back.
Aw, thanks, Craig. Are you keeping the seats warm for us?
Hopefully. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to William versus the World. One of many. I think this is episode 120 something.
126 is what I have.
Okay, yeah. Episode 126. And that's awesome, but maybe a little bit sad. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But welcome to our weekly podcast. We do this every week. It's about music. It's about social media and technology. We do it every Wednesday at 7 p.m. The best way to contribute to us, our band, our live stream is by sharing the Facebook page, sharing the live streams, sharing our music, sharing our flyers, events, basically spreading us around. It helps us get the word out about our live events, our future podcasts, older music, newer music, and of course, new shows coming out, live shows, and anything else in Sepsis News. But if you don't know who we are not just a Facebook page. We are also a hard rock and heavy metal band from Manchester, New Hampshire. We're also content creators, streamers, and podcasters. I'm going to switch to the other screen. This is a test. This is a test, Melissa. Metaverse Melissa.
Just a test.
Switching the screen and now checking the audio. That's why we got Craig here for backup. Each Wednesday, we go live here on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, sharing music industry stories, current events, news, technology, and social media. That's what I wanted to say. The show itself is based on fun and learning and entertainment purposes mostly, so let's not get upset all the time. We examine independent news, music tips, tools, predictions. We explore statistics, strategies in digital marketing. We look at some advertising, and we talk a lot about technology. Yes, Lexi, I feel like you're going to say something.
Oh, no, I was listening to you.
You can finally hear me now, so you're like, oh, fuck, I might as well listen. Right?
Well, I had nothing to add because that's what we talk about.
Craig said he's getting us new equipment. Now listen.
What? I be for real? Are you just...
We're in dire need of it. This is the actual microphone I go on stage with and sing with the band.
Fun fact.
Yeah, I kind of made it. That's why it looks like this.
Handmade.
Yeah, it's like like I stitched this piece up together, so it's like a custom pop filter for screaming. Like that?
The fact that you had to make your own pop filter for screaming.
Yeah, they don't come like this. I need a better microphone on stage too. Only Melissa has the good microphone.
Yeah, I'm using it.
True.
That's why it sounds so
That sounds so
great.
crisp. Guys, we are not journalists. That's why we put the news on the screen so everyone can follow along. I just know how it is on social media. And everybody has a lot of pressure to be an expert. So, we're not experts. We just put the stuff on the screen so you guys know how to follow along. And you're also confident that we're not just making shit up as we go along. Yes, Lexi. You look like you're going to say something.
I said it's also great for like evidence.
Yo, Craig said he's serious. He said he's serious. You guys are like family. He's dead serious. I'm gonna give him the.
Aww. Thank you, Craig.
Look, notice she didn't say no. She didn't say no, don't help us. That's funny. Thank you for the help, Craig. We appreciate that. And thank you guys for being here. Thank you for being here. You know, that's really the best thing in the world. Right. So sometimes when I'm sitting here podcasting, people will send me messages. Don't.
I wonder if one day
Don't do that.
you're going to go live and people are finally going to learn
I'm live now. Stop doing it.
to not message you until
They're still
after.
messaging me.
I mean,
Just
this
talk to me
is-
right here.
You're right. This
Here
is
we are. Just
the
this is
time we go
open
on.
forum. I don't want to talk privately with people on the internet no more. I just want to be on, like, seriously. Unless you got some business with me, can you talk privately with me on the internet? The answer is no.
I mean, we're 126 episodes in
Yeah.
of this particular show,
Yes.
but we've been doing this for years, and still people like to message you. They'd wait. They wait. They hold off
Why?
until you're live, and then all of a sudden they start messaging you.
But here's the truth is I'm live every day. I get up in the morning and I'm alive.
That's what I'm saying. There's so much time throughout the day for them to message you. Why wait until you're live on the internet to message you? One of these days.
The time to talk is not to interrupt.
Yeah. You normally wait until
Int-
someone's done doing
Interrupting isn't communicating. Somebody's got to do a class on this.
something. That's why I watch Lawyer.
Like, imagine you was getting some trim and somebody just interrupts you. That's not communicating.
Yo, there would be people that are watching this that would
You
be
know.
borderline pissed off and felt disrespected and maybe throw a shoe if someone
If they
interrupted
can get
that.
to it, right. Craig says they need me to drop them with the tombstone pile driver. Yes.
Tuned up.
Yes. Please pile drive them. All right, so let me get back to this. This shit is crazy. This 7-Up is it's explosive.
Is it making you gassy?
Yeah. I'm trying not to burp on the. I noticed 7-Up is not going to be consumed on future podcasts. That's what I've made a note here. Hold on, I gotta tell my intern. Tina, no more 7-Up. Oh, you know, only almond milk and aloe. You know, whatever they do now. What the fuck? All right. I'm gonna get through this. I promise. Seriously though, we're not journalists and we don't news at people. That's why we put the article up on the screen. So you guys can not feel so weaponized, you know, whether I give you the information or and then the other half of you feel victimized if I present the information. See? I've got nowhere to go. So that, you know, I'm not claiming to be an expert or a journalist like all your best friends on the internet. This is just a fun show from a heavy metal band. So try not to be too emotional or take it personal. My music, our shows, they're not created to please just you. I don't write music to please my personal friendships or people that I grew up with, or to be accepted by any groups, industries, or to satisfy any brands, record labels, or legacy companies and corporations. We just do this show because it's fun. We don't get a lot of money from it. People can give us tips or subscribe, you know, to the band page. I think we get $1 a month or something like that. If you choose to do that, great. That's not something we're asking people to do. Thank you for watching our programs and listening to our music. As an individual in the band, I don't play sides a lot. I don't make music for the music industry or social media for social status or incremental gain. I think I've said that before. As a band, right, as Sepsis, we have no interests in being the best, in being the favorite, or being perfect, or being the first at anything. I know a lot of bands want to be those things, but it's just not for us. On the show, we challenge the big lie, everybody. I think that we're known for being a controversial bunch because we're outspoken. And what we are outspoken about, a lot of our lyrics, our content, and the things that we talk about here on the podcasts and in our lyrics and music, is we challenge the big lie. The big lie, the vanity of manufactured success, through the eyes of the limited few responsible for its inflated value, superiority, and symbolism. Large tech, labels, and legacy companies and corporate giants absorb new ideas in advertising, claiming them as their own. And that is the big lie that we challenge. The understanding that the true path of independence isn't through any industry. The music industry, the modern music industry, can be a culture, and seems to be at times, a culture trained on diluted remixes, business models, maps, blueprints, republished music industry bits and hooks, mixed with mumbling, plagiarism, mimicking, and other people's and other inventors' original ideas. Hacking and buying and borrowing ideas from poor and desperate people, repackaging other people's ideas, repackaging these ideas as gatekeepers, and monetizing other people's ideas as their own, monetizing the models, monetizing and claiming that they're the only way, and only through them can you be validated as a musician yourself or possess meaningful value. A world where the consumers are the experts, the tech giants are the rock stars, and they are imagining that being a professional musician is so much fun that music itself is only background noise, and the artists should just be happy to play it and perform it for free. A modern music industry of numbers, metrics, and clout, viral and digital gaming and gambling. What we have is a music scene of algorithms, of charts, a music scene and an industry of band battles, popularity contests, fashion shows, and chasing trends, name dropping, trolling, and clout chasing. A music scene of sources, of tabloids, rumor mills, and tattletales. The bullies, the misogyny, the comparisons, the competing, the bigotry, a culture of cheaters, copiers, pasters, posers, and copycats. An industry of hackers, scams, booby traps, and snares. A world where trademarks and copyrights, laws, and receipts are known only are tools for the weak. And they're only fit to pin and plague and tax honest wannabes. This industry today only rewards the biggest wannabes and people who pay to cheat and win. So that's why we have the show, everybody. In the band, with our music, we confront, we question, we challenge any system, any marriage, a music industry. We challenge any friendships. The music we write, our lyrics and our ideas here in the band, in our lives, our content challenges the systems in the music industries, in the jobs that are based on the idea that equals me having less rights or opportunity, freedoms, or future than anyone else. Never become loyal to any politician or any heavy metal or any genre. Never become loyal to any religion or any fucking scene or any celebrity or any company, music industry, or system that installs or utilizes misinformation or fear to block the full potential and freedom of using your voice. Only eat at the table where you are welcome, and welcome people at your table that welcome you. Welcome to another episode of William versus the World. Ronnie Radke threatens Motionless in White to reveal the real reason behind their fight.
Haven't they been fighting for like years?
I don't know. I don't know, and that's kind of why I'm covering it. I've heard, okay. Ronnie Radke threatens Chris Motionless to reveal the reason behind their fight.
Okay, then just reveal it.
Maybe.
Just reveal it.
Or not, because who cares?
If you're gonna
This is what we've reduced ourselves to. The whole point I'm covering this is not because I care. Do you realize I have never, people say they've never heard of Sepsis, right? That's okay. I can understand that. Maybe they've never heard of all the local bands. That's understandable. These guys are mega stars, and I haven't heard either one of their music. I haven't heard any of their music. There's no news of their music. I can't recite any lyrics. I'm not covering this story because they're bad guys. I'm not covering the story to say that Ronnie Radke is a good guy and Chris Motionless is a bad guy. And I'm not covering it to see to find out the truth. I'm not running an investigation. I'm puzzled why fans of rock and roll care about this shit. You can't get to the bottom of it.
I was gonna say the same thing. Also, I hate the English.
Talk to me.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I hate it when people, let alone who it is.
Right.
Doesn't matter who.
Who cares?
If someone said to me,
Right.
I'm gonna threaten to say why I don't like this person or why we're feuding for 10, 15 years.
Right.
Why say I'm going to threaten to do it?
Oh, I see what your point is.
Why?
But even more so.
Why do you think we care enough?
Right. They're musicians.
What's the point?
I don't know what the common, that's my thing. Like, what is the common denominator? Now look, I'm going to point this out. I don't know any music. I don't know any lyrics. I don't know any songs. I don't even know what fucking band Ronnie Radke is from. All I know is what silly stuff is on the screen, which I understand is rumor mills and tabloids. I understand why it's created. I get the motivation behind points and clicks, and I trust me, we get it. But Chris Motionless, I understand we're all supposed to pick a side here. I get the narrative. I understand they want to animate some sort of feud and we're all supposed to give a shit. But if you claim that you're an actual fan of music, this would be confusing because I can't remember the last time I heard music or I can remember a lyric. All I can remember are these guys being in these rumor mill magazines. And that's fine for whatever press company is making a living off of this shit. But this is when people say, why isn't there any new music? Or why can't we move the needle? I would like to know what sort of person and personality cares if Ronnie Radke or Chris Motionless are good guys or bad guys. What I want to know the person who gave birth to the people that care about this. What responsible role models and people gave birth to other young people that spent time? Now, look, I understand. Maybe it's a slight distraction when you're building your identity. I understand entertainment is there to be consumed, right? But what if you had to give up music to care about this shit?
In order to care about this shit, you would have to give up music.
That's the part
Because
that gets
this
me.
is not musical.
That's the part that
This
gets me.
is just clout.
That's
And
it.
it sounds like one type of person would appreciate and give a fuck about this. And you and I both know the type of person that would give a fuck about this.
That's the part for me. I'm not stunned that there are people that don't have a lot to do. Whoops, I'm sorry, buddy. Oh, shit. That's why I got to fix that. So I'm not stunned. It happens. I'm not stunned. It's like dropping a pick or something, you know? I'm not stunned that there are pointless, mindless, hollow fucking trolls that just burn and wash themselves out on internet pollution. I'm not confused in that. I'm really not. I'm more confused in the people that raise those people.
Because those types of people care about this type of stuff.
Holy shit.
They
I don't
love gossip.
I don't even want to read
They
it.
love drama.
I'm not
they
even gonna
love
read it.
reality TV. They'd rather do all that
You would have
than
to
see what they have next for music or listen to an album
In order-
or do anything music.
in order to care about this, you would have to, like, let's say you were a fan of Ronnie Radke, right? Do you realize I don't know any music that he's ever done? This is one of the most popular guys in rock and roll.
Supposed to be.
He's in the news all the time. He's in the tabloids all the time, for better or worse, right? And it's all of his talent is missed by people like me that really like music. And I'm not like one of those people that go around saying that I'm not a fan of things. I'm a music fan that hopes that I'm a fan of you. I'm not one of those music fans, like the majority of people, that are waiting to not like shit. I'm one of those people that love music. I come from a time when we're encouraged to have the attention span. I come from a time where we create the space to discover, and I'm from a time where we hope that the music lasts with longevity.
Unfortunately, these people's, both of them, because Chris is just as talented as Ronnie. I know both
I'm
of
sure
their
they
bands.
are. Okay.
I know both of their bands.
Yep.
I don't know them as people, but I know both their bands.
I get it.
And I know
Mhm.
that they are going to do it to themselves. They are going to have people miss their talent, miss their band, miss the whole point, and they're going to go on and they're going to complain about it without realizing that they're doing it to themselves. You would rather spend your time in an interview as a music person, and Ronnie is talented. You would rather spend that time instead of talking about your talent and pushing people towards your talents because people can finally respect you as an artist. You'd rather use that space to do rumor mills, gossip, feuds.
But let's say, for
you
the-
attacking
for the sake-
Courtney, now
for the-
Chris.
for the
Like,
sake of
instead of talking about your music, you'd rather spend time in interviews going with what the tabloids are doing.
But for the sake of all that, because even then we have to
That's
We
what
have
I would
to-
rather do.
we have to make an investment on who's right and who's wrong and the
That's what they
moral,
want.
and we have to grade the moral high ground.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting here transparently. This isn't. It's not musical. It's not supportive, and it's distracting for people that like music.
Yeah, it is. That's why it's there. It's to distract you. Yeah.
Okay, then they won't.
That's
then
why
I
they
guess
do
I
it.
won't listen to any music then.
Right. That's why they're doing it. That's
This-
why I said they'd rather
Guys-
focus on this instead
guys
of
like
talk about their
me-
talent.
Guys like me that like music, human beings like me that like music, don't care who people are sleeping with. We don't care who people are fighting with. We don't care how rich people are. People like me that just like good music, I just like music. I don't come for all the other stuff.
But
you
there
know.
are people that do come for all the other stuff.
There are people that eat a bowl of poop. I get that.
Yeah.
What will always be mind-boggling to me is these two people could be feuding, right? There's no bottom line.
Yeah.
We're not there to
That's
observe
why.
them.
Yeah.
It's all debatable. We don't know. We're not their friends.
Yeah. It's just for clout.
You know.
It's just for mean boys and
So.
trolls.
It's unfortunate that not for them or their fans. This is why, though. It's hard for people to justify paying money to go see a local band because there are some people that might believe or be misunderstood that this is what music is about.
Yeah.
Best of luck to them. Here's a good one. Nearly half of young people wish the internet had never been invented. What is that?
Oh.
Heard that?
Yeah.
Somebody got electrocuted.
That's what it sounded like.
Scott said, I never heard of the dude.
See?
Well, that's what I mean.
See? That's what we're both saying.
If you came across that article, you'd never know they were musicians.
You would never know how
And
talented
that
they
doesn't,
are.
and hold on, and that does not matter if you're a huge celebrity like Beyonce and somebody says, oh, look, you got toilet paper on your shoe, and everybody gets excited about it. I get it. And if you're a megastar, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, period.
It doesn't matter, period. But for this is an independent show for independent musicians and people that are trying to learn about that, right? So when we have only the limited few at the top that are responsible for the symbolism of success, okay? These guys like Ronnie Radke and the guys that are supposed to be the most successful guys in rock and roll. There are millions of the majority, okay, that will copy and paste this perception or this symbolism, right? And they will say, oh, the path to the industry, is through this lens. And this here is a show of a guy that, grew up, with some different traditions, right? And I'm trying to point out to people that to be a validated musician, you don't got to do this. You don't got to be wrapped up in all of this. This is not something that I can assure you. That's not how you get good at guitar.
No. That's how you get into tabloids.
Right.
And have people deter you from what you're really doing.
Exactly.
And that was my point when saying that they would rather do this and talk about and attack people than talk about their talent or talk about their music. And then go on, that same person would go on and then complain about people not taking them seriously. When there's stuff like this out.
Yeah. I mean, for my message to my message and the common denominator for me is, if there's anything I could recommend to people getting into this, is to focus on the music. That because you could be a mega star, work your whole life up to being a mega star, right? And this is all people hear about.
Yeah,
So remember, you
up into tabloids.
Remember the original reason why you got into music. And try to remember all the years that you studied playing guitar or all the years that you played drums, and try to remember all the reasons why you got into music in the first place. So when you get big enough, someone doesn't talk you out of it.
And you also don't talk yourself out of it,
Yeah.
getting wrapped up in your own drama.
You know what I mean? You got into music to have fun, and it can wind up just being feuds and
Controversy
Right,
and rumor mills. And a lot of people, as you see right here,
Some of
these
that you
two gentlemen are getting themselves wrapped up into what is called tabloids and drama and their own bullshit.
I don't know what they're doing.
And stressing out.
For sure. Keep it fun, man. Fuck them. Audience members, people that love music, if you want to see more musicians, ignore shit like that.
Yeah, don't get wrapped up in their
You
own
know, you know what I
bullshit
mean?
and
That's what
drama.
I'm trying to say. It's more about educating
Yeah.
people on how to focus in on the right things in music and ignore the stuff that's distracting and not really uplifting.
Yeah, don't fall into the clickbait.
Yeah, spend more time because that's why we're never discovering because we're trapped on, the only four celebrities in rock and roll that are going back and forth about stuff you're never going to get to the bottom of. I took on the article for you, so you don't have to.
Right.
Nearly half of young people wish the internet had never been invented. You're the young one in the band. What do you think about that?
Oh, I like that. I agree with them too. I wish the internet was never a thing
Why?
because I think the internet pushes us to not be as active. I think the internet pushes mental health. I think the internet promotes romance scams, extortion. It pushes a lot of criminal activity. It pushes people to get wrapped up into
And when you say,
conspiracy theories and
is there anything? What do you guys think in the What do you guys think in the comments? Is Lexi onto something here?
it also pushes and amplifies misinformation, false advertising.
They're also weighing in on some of the other stuff here. I don't care about tabloid shit. 40 years ago, I listened to music. You didn't have outlets saying stuff like this. That's what.
Right.
Craig said, I think one of your mics might be messed up. I'm hearing static. Oh, maybe that's what that was. Tell me if you're still hearing it.
Yo.
Yeah, Scott said I hear a little bit. Are you guys still hearing it now?
Yo.
I'm not hearing it now. I did
Who's
hear it.
Mike?
I don't think they'd be able to. I don't think they could tell like that.
Oh.
We both have wireless microphones,
Yeah.
so it could be you'd have to turn one on and leave one off.
Yeah, the whole yeah.
And right now, no one says they hear it. So, moving on. And then somebody said I never heard of them. So that's what I mean. That's kind of my point.
See?
All right. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that Lexi's onto something? Do you guys wish the internet was never created? I'll tell you one thing. If the internet was never created, you would never have ever heard of this band or seen this podcast.
Podcasts wouldn't be on here. That's true. We'd find podcasts another place.
But before the internet, there wasn't there wasn't a such thing as a podcast.
Yeah.
There was radio.
That's what I'm talking about. Talk shows.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say there was TV talk shows, but and the only way you could do that is if you were rich and famous.
Yeah.
So that they had the same type of gatekeeping stuff happening then.
Yeah, it's still keycapped.
Yeah,
Even the internet.
and radio too. Like the only way you could be on the radio is if you had a piece of paper or somebody saying that you were somehow qualified to talk more than somebody else. Isn't that the
Yeah.
same kind of shit?
But couldn't you make up your own radio station?
No, you have to have a license and you have to.
Couldn't you get that?
Well, yeah, I
Without
mean
the
you can
internet?
get a fishing license, you can get a gun license,
Right.
you can get a marriage license.
So if they really wanted to, they could make their own radio station.
It's a little bit different. It's not quite as easy as
Well, of course,
setting
it's
up
not going to be easy, but I'm just saying.
when people that are under 30 say make your own radio station. I want to be perfectly clear that it's not like making a website.
Yeah, it's going to take you like 10, 15 years to build that shit up.
You have to go to school to be a broadcaster. There's
Mhm.
licenses and
Yeah,
ledgers
there's all
and
kinds of stuff.
you have to look into that.
You have to
don't-
research, go
and
to
not-
school, all kinds of stuff.
And
yeah.
not only that, it matters when you're getting into a certain field. Like if right now if you wanted to be a farmer, I don't think that'd be a great idea
No.
because farms have come and gone.
Yeah.
So you'd be better off making your own radio station now than you were in the time when radio stations were making money.
Yeah,
Because when radio stations made money, they didn't let independents in like that.
I know.
So that's how, you know what I mean? Just like TV. If everybody could be a violinist,
Everyone would be.
we'd all play violin, and that's why the internet and streaming was sold to us like this. Because they said
Yes.
everyone can do it. Everyone's a model. Everyone's a photographer. Everyone's a DJ.
And set almost every single person up for failure.
Everyone's a banker. Everyone's an
Uh-huh.
expert. Everyone's a doctor. Everyone's a
Mhm.
pediatrician. Everyone's a motivational speaker now.
Everyone's in everything.
Everyone's grown.
Everyone's in
Everyone's
everything.
slapping their chest.
Yeah, everyone's in everything.
So,
That's because of the internet. But most of those things are set up for failure.
and well, same could be said for like radio or TV, or
Exactly.
or even, I don't know, slipping a note under the door.
Exactly.
So communication itself is set up for failure.
It all is.
So what do, Lex? We just lock ourselves under the
No,
ground.
You push through. You get educated. Find what you want to do in life.
All right, so nearly half of young people wish the internet had never been created. People that were here before, do you guys wish that TV was never created? And then we got to go, do we wish radio wasn't created? And then do we wish telephones weren't created?
You gotta go down the line.
Scott said Lexi's on point. Let's travel all the way down. So if we're going to say no internet, right? Then there were things that led to that, right? So TV and radio had a lot of the same issues that you have on the internet.
Yeah.
Propaganda, scams, ads.
Same with the newspaper.
The telephones too. You guys don't. You're a little young for this, but the telephones was ads all day. People calling, the spam calls on the telephones all day. They had the same problems as the internet: misinformation, people calling you, politicians calling your mother's phone all day, trying to get you to vote for stuff. City councilmen, people showing up. Before that, it was people showing up on your front door and people posting flyers all over the. You know what I mean? So let's walk it back. So nearly half of the young people wish the internet. Wish they never had the internet invented. I can understand that. So the people that grew up in the era of television, like Melissa Songbird, do you wish that TV was never created? Do you guys wish that cable TV? No? Is that different for some of y'all? Because television had the same type of effects on kids, and had the same kind of pressures and gatekeeping and stealing and scams as the internet. Financial scams, 2 o'clock in the morning, girls gone wild, you know what I mean? The same stuff.
Yeah, QVC is still on.
So, direct meme spam.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, you guys may not know this, but some of the older guys do here in the chat. I mean, the prostitution used to be in the newspaper.
Yeah.
So just like the internet. So if we get rid of the internet, should we consider after that, should we get rid of television? Because if we get rid of internet, then we're going to surely go back to television, right?
Then we'll be having TV dinners. Sitting
So
in
then
front
if
of
we
a
get rid of
television screen.
if we get rid of television, should we consider getting rid of radio? And then should we consider getting rid of magazines and newspapers altogether and telephones? And then should we get rid of printing and press? Should we get rid of the alphabet? Then next, you know what I mean? Next, should we get rid of languages and relationships? What do we do?
I think we just gotta fix it to make it better.
So what we're saying is, my point is, it's not TV that's doing it.
No,
It's not.
it's the people.
It's You can get rid of radio and swap it for Udio. You can get Hoodio and swap it for the Goodio. You can name
Whatever you swap it for, it's gonna be worse than the first
You're
thing.
going to get VR, AR, BR, DR, CR. Doesn't matter. Call it whatever you want. You're going to get a Google for a Gaga, Nunu for a Nana.
Whatever you replace it
Right.
with, it's just gonna be
The,
worse.
the Egyptians had their thing. The Romans had their thing. People have their things. And they don't know how to treat it.
And America's thing is TV and the internet.
Right. For some people, it's misogyny and racism. For some civilizations, it was they didn't understand the weather, and they bugged out about that. For some people, they hallucinated about germs and microbials, They didn't, it wasn't like to get rid of tools and get rid of water and get rid of sponges. That's technology. The Egyptians had their issue. Should they have gotten rid of hieroglyphs? The blind have their issue. Should they get rid of Braille?
You should just give up.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Should people that are hard of hearing, should they get rid of sign language? That's their internet. I mean, misinformation could be spread that way.
It is spread that way.
Right, and it is. So people have the choice to be assholes. People have the choice to spend their time on the internet and look up stuff on the library, or they can choose, manufacturing weapons. It's what people choose to do at the time, and how people are trained and taught to use these tools. If you leave a little girl in the room to just play with an iPad by herself, what's going to happen?
Bad things.
That's what if no one's there to teach her and guide her, and more so if she doesn't have other adults and responsible role models that are there with her or him all the time, showing them the right way to do things. And even then, what? Things can still go
Wrong.
Okay. There's something to think about. It's common refrain these days that some specific invention was a mistake in our age of seemingly every human invention blowing up catastrophically in our faces. Now, that's what Lexi said. Scott's right. It is agriculture equals doom.
Yeah.
Manufacturing and filtering drinking water spells doom.
Yeah.
Because it means somebody's got to be in control of it.
And they're one decision away from ruining everything.
Okay. So that's really the thing. It's not so much that agriculture is terrible. It's that there are supervisors, managers, and criminals that look over it. It's not that the internet is bad.
Unqualified people created it.
Right. What if the internet didn't have any racism in it or misogyny? Would it be worse or better?
I'd say it'd be better.
What if we took off the constant ads and the attacks and the identity politics and the whole bit? It'd be better, right? So, but in order for it to be that way, right? There would have to be a person, there would have to be a supervisor or a manager, a board of directors, there would have to be a group of people, there would have to be an authority to make these changes on the internet. So the internet isn't bad. The law isn't bad. Electricity isn't bad.
It's the people that made it.
Right. The music industry isn't bad.
It's the people that are in it.
It's the people that want to be in control of the music industry, and that's what the program is about. That's what we want to try to teach people here, that it's not really about locating, bad systems. A lot of times we get to talking here, we're having a conversation, and people mistake what I'm trying to teach people or present as complaints or doom. But you got to read beyond the surface of all of this. It's not so much getting rid of the internet, getting rid of agriculture and crushing farming. No, it's getting the right people that care enough, that are in it for more than just money and domination and superiority.
Those are the unqualified people I was talking about.
I don't disagree with you there. What better subject of all of our collective remorse than the advent of the entire internet? The glorious information superhighway now turned AI slop through. And what's the big problem with that? What is so wrong with the internet? Well, it's that anyone and everyone seemingly can publish on it. That's what everybody doesn't like about it. People want only their favorite people to be able to publish on the internet. That's what's wrong with the internet, is people want customized versions of it where only their favorite people that they agree with and can tolerate are able to publish on it. It's not that the internet itself is bad. That's just space. The airwaves are just airwaves.
Yeah.
Vibration is just vibration. There's no such thing as bad music. It's the asshole that organizes it. You know?
Yeah, they're unqualified.
According to a new survey conducted in the UK, this appears to be the sentiment held by nearly half young people, at least across the pond, who are mourning missing out on the diverging timeline where they weren't chronically online or racked with brain rot. Here is my response to that. They get the fuck off the internet. For people that are like, oh, I wish that the internet wasn't here, and oh my God, it's so terrible, I can't stand social media. My response to that is then turn it off. People that didn't like television used to say, we just need to get rid of television. We just need to get rid of cigarettes. Then stop smoking.
Simple.
People go, what can I do? I don't like TV. I don't like the radio. I don't like the news. You hear that a lot now with people not liking what the news has to say because it makes them upset. Then turn it the fuck off.
It's not that hard. It's really not that hard to just turn it off.
So
Like, you don't have to watch the news.
Well, that's my response to people who go, well, I don't like, the big one you hear now, and I agree with people, social media sucks. I don't like the way social media feels. Social media is terrible for people. And I agree with all of these things, actually. And you hear people shouting from the rooftop of how terrible the internet is and how we never should have done it. Then why do you continue to go on it?
They're just abusing themselves.
If the big claim that the internet is terrible, it's the same thing with people that talk about streaming. They go, Netflix is so terrible. It's gotten so bad. And I'll be like, really? How long have you had your subscription? 10 years?
Yeah, for 10 years, and you really think it's that bad.
Oh my God, look, guys.
No, you're just mad that your subscription went up and you can't share it with your friends.
Guys will hit me up on the phone and talk about, oh, my marriage, it's so doomed. It's so difficult. It's such a challenge. I just want out. And I'll say, well, how long have you guys been together? A year. You've only had the subscription for 10 years, Chuck. Whatever happened to, till death do us part and all that other shit?
Right.
No, but you hit it.
That's so true.
It is. I don't want to be in the band. You only been in the band for fucking 9 months.
It's almost like they think that they can cancel their marriage like they can cancel their subscription.
Because they can. And and the idea that they can't is actually ridiculous. Hold on. It's the idea that they can't.
No, you can. There is always an out.
And the idea that you don't have to. People will say, Spotify's just so terrible. Spotify's just so unfair. My wife is just so unfair. My boss and my job are just so unfair. They're so mean to me. And I'll say, if Spotify is such a terrible product, everybody hates Spotify across the board. There isn't a fucking person that you can find that will agree that Spotify is nice, fair, or
the shit.
You'll never find anybody that will say that Spotify is nice to the musician or pays them fairly. Yet, most and the majority of the people justifiably don't give a shit.
Yeah, they're still subscribed to it. They listen to it every day on their way to work. But they're the same people that will go and complain.
On one hand, they will agree. Everybody knows. It's widely known that Spotify rips off your neighbors and local musicians. Spotify rips off the biggest musicians in the world. Your favorite, largest artists in the world. Spotify rips them off too, and it's widely known. But when you talk to consumers, they don't give a shit. They'll agree with you, note for note, that Spotify is a terrible fucking thing for people, for musicians. And they're still subscribed to it. So it's not that Spotify sucks. People suck.
Yeah, people suck.
People love to be addicted by abusive shit.
Yeah, they go against their own self-interest.
People love voting. They love listening and consuming against their own interests. You see people doing it all day, watching bum fights, watching couples argue, consuming material that actually makes them afraid and anxious.
Just adds to their mental health.
So when people are like, According to a new survey, it appears that there's a sentiment held by nearly half of young people across the pond who are mourning missing out on diverging their timeline where they're not chronically online or whacked out with brain rot. Who is stopping people from going outside and taking a walk? I can't stand this.
Themselves.
Right. So when you hear of these people who are mourning a time when they could just go outside, that is saying, that's implying that there's an idea, that is illustrating an idea that we live in a world that we are trapped and we must be on these apps and we are doing these things. There are certain people that must believe or feel that we have to do this stuff. And I'm telling you, we don't.
We don't. Just get out of your own way and just go outside.
Right. We're a rock band. We stopped uploading our music to Spotify because it makes us unhappy. Because we know that it's unfair. We know that they're a bad company and they're mean to musicians. So for no other reason, we start our standard and retain our value by not giving them more of our catalog.
More people should follow that same thing.
You don't have to be there. And the idea that we all have to be on this thing and be doing these things and replacing them with going outside or doing something else or knitting or playing the drums. Who are these kids that believe they can't do something else?
Young people that like to get in their own way.
I feel bad for them. I'm not even going to lie. Normally I don't feel bad for people, but I do. What do you guys thought of that? The majority of people sooner or later conform to things. Well, that's why they're called the majority.
That's called complacency.
Hold on. Listen to the statement. I'm not making fun of you. The majority of people sooner or later conform to things. That's why they're called the majority.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I agree with you, man.
Yeah, people
Yes.
have to settle.
Yes, the majority of people sooner or later do the majority of things that the majority does. Yes.
Yeah. Now we get left out.
So
They
how
go
many
against themselves.
how many people in the chat today think they're the majority? If you think that you're the majority, put a 1. If you think that you're an individual, put a 2.
I love when we do surveys.
You know this trick. Come on, all the individuals put a 2. All the revolutionaries, the trailblazers. Oh my God, you guys are fucking funny.
Survey time.
All right, are you guys trailblazers?
Right.
Or are you the
We pioneer.
right? How many?
Settle in Guadalajara.
You know, when you talk to the majority of people, they all think they're individuals, right?
All of a sudden, yes.
You guys do know that, right?
I wonder how many people put a 2.
It doesn't matter. It's just for their own.
I'm just being funny.
It's for their own personal enrichment.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own idea themselves, don't they?
Very individual.
I think that I think it's cool to not be the majority, but I think most people are the majority.
Yeah.
I think
It's
most,
okay to be the majority.
and I think that that's okay.
It's not a bad thing
Right.
to be the majority of something.
Right.
It's really not a bad thing.
You got to think like to not be the majority means like you're probably a criminal. No, let's talk about what the majority isn't.
Yeah.
Minorities. So if you're not the majority, you must be a minority.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a minority. So, but if you're not the majority, then you must be a minority.
Yes. That'd be the direct opposite. And it's really good to accept this about yourself.
right.
Come into self-acceptance.
Right.
Realize
Right.
who
So,
you are.
right. If you are actually saying that you are not the majority, then you are considering that you are a minority. You're also considering that you're a inventor. You might be a criminal. See, so either you're the majority or you are an inventor, you're the minority, or you're a criminal. You still want to be the majority? Or do you want to be the minority? Because there's not a lot of inventors. There's not a lot of violin players. That's not the majority.
Yeah.
That's a minority.
Yes.
Okay? There's not a lot of speakers. There's not a lot of groundbreaking, trailblazing inventors. There's not a lot of original people. Original people are on a fine line of being inventors and criminals. And then you have everyone else. That's the majority.
Yeah.
So if you are not the majority, then you must be an inventor or something, right?
Must be something of
You
cool.
must be fucking special.
Yeah.
No, but you certainly you have to have some skill sets, and
Yeah.
you have to be different than the greater portion or majority. Are you still sure?
Gotta love these words.
No, I know. Most people don't even know what the fuck they're talking about.
No.
120 court cases, 120 court cases have been caught with AI hallucinations. What a fucking surprise. More than 20 legal professionals have been busted in the past month. No one's surprised.
Oh, so okay, because I was gonna ask if it was like lawyers and stuff like that, like using AI to write up their opening case or like their statements or something.
This is about just not doing work.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's
That's what I'm
about.
asking.
It's about. Well, we'll read it, but AI isn't built to be accurate necessarily.
Yeah.
It's not, and not all chat bots are built to be accurate. Some chat bots are designed for entertainment. Any machine or software or file that exists is still programmed by a human being. So it's limited by its supervisor, its creator.
Yeah, so it can like lead you
Right.
down a dark hallway you don't want to go down.
So if you are a tech giant super coder, okay, and you want to build a chat bot and you're a fucking lunatic, okay,
You'd have to be a lunatic to
like that doesn't change. Like like just because a sex offender builds an AI chatbot doesn't mean the person that manufactured it isn't a sex offender.
Right.
It's still a chatbot manufactured by a sex offender, and therefore should be questioned.
Right. Everything made by
Right. If-
this goes back to me saying
If your
everyone's
favorite
disqualified.
toys are made by criminals, then you should probably do your fucking homework. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If the music industry is made by criminals, then maybe you should do your homework before you get into the music industry.
Yeah.
If your favorite toys, Nike, Spotify, if all of these companies were built on the backs of slavery, sweatshops, scams, ripping people off, employee fraud, and not paying people and firing and hiring people and abusing employees. If all of the largest companies and corporations weren't doing that, we wouldn't even have this show.
100%.
So of course they're fucking stealing. That's what the internet was created for. Lawyers representing Anthropic recently got busted for using a false attribution generated by Claude in an expert testimony. Okay. But that's one of more than 20 court cases containing AI hallucinations in the past month alone. Basically, people presenting language that's been generated by AI. And sometimes people will create so many legal documents and so many legal cases, they're just hoping that nobody checks. Just like the music industry. People do shit in the music industry just hoping that people won't do the extra research. That's how scams work, you know. Scams don't work on people that go the extra mile to protect themselves against scams, romance scams, music scams, online scams. If people just went the extra mile, scammers quickly give up and go to somebody else. The whole nature and behavior behind scammers is they want something easy. They want something quick. They want somebody weak. They need somebody desperate. They need somebody thirst trapping. They need people to want to be.
That don't want to research.
Yes, they want people.
Want a quick fix and they don't want to do the work.
Or people that are afraid to learn the truth.
Yep.
You know, this happens to musicians a lot of time. Musicians don't want to do the research on the music industry because they don't want to learn that the dream they're chasing may not come true. That's why the best scammers and criminals, software coders, tastemakers, and industry giants and developers all manufacture machines and toys that cater to the most desperate, dreamy wannabes in the music world.
Yeah.
And they all promote that, you know, it's going to be easier, or they're all promoting an idea that through this one gadget or through this one website or through this one conduit, they have an opportunity to be one of the greats. You feel me?
Yeah.
All right, fuck AI anyway. I'm just We'll do one more because we love her and she's the plant.
She's the best.
She's the plant, and I'm the biggest. I'm the new big Courtney LaPlante fan.
Yeah.
The biggest. I'm not a Spirit Box fan, but I am a Courtney LaPlante fan.
Mm-hmm.
I do like some of their music. But I didn't want to get caught not knowing any. I only know the few songs that everybody knows, you know?
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, man, I love her.
Yeah, she's the shit.
Because I love her message. Courtney LaPlante implies Spirit Box is bigger than metal's rules.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Courtney says that she's bigger than heavy fucking metal, man. She's tired of this shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Courtney believes that Spirit Box and Courtney believes Courtney is bigger than heavy metal.
Fuck yeah.
She has rejected any sellout criticism of her band. Anyone calling Courtney a sellout is about to get it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Spirit Box vocalist Courtney LaPlante discussed the band's musical diversity and stance against genre constraints during a recent interview with Mistress Carrie.
She did an interview with Mistress Carrie?
You're going to have to watch it now.
Yeah.
Somebody tag Mistress Carrie.
Please. Yeah.
Well, that's good. We should have watched it.
That's fucking incredible shit.
Everybody, big shout out to Loud Entertainment in the building.
Yo!
It's
I like your dancing.
Oh, yeah. So, Larry Loud. We got to have a talk real
Caught
quick.
you.
Yeah.
Caught you having a party.
You know, I was on the wrong screen the whole time. So, Larry Loud.
Gotta teach us those moves.
Lexi is a screamer in the band, and she also does merch. But you'll meet her if you're at the show this Friday. But Larry, she's seen your dance moves in your current heavy metal dance reel. Everybody should go to Loud Entertainment on Facebook and check that out. But everybody give a warm welcome to our friends at Loud Entertainment. Also, official 2025 Swarmy Fest partners.
Oh, it's official.
We might even give it some music on that. It's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we appreciate that.
That's so cool.
No, it is really cool.
Hell yeah, thank you.
So thank you for that. And as you guys know, we will be at Platforms Dance Club. Did you just hit yourself in the head with that microphone?
Yeah, so tonight I've been hitting myself in the glasses with the microphone.
It's because you have new glasses. It's because you have new glasses.
Is it?
I don't know.
It's better than me hitting
I
my
called
tooth.
you out. I know. I was only calling you out because it was funny, and then
I wish
re-
we co-recorded
and then
it.
I realized that it's probably because you have new glasses.
Yeah.
But guys, join us in, of course, Loud Entertainment and the boys and girls from Under the Horizon. We'll be at platforms in Rhode Island, Providence this week. Why you look like that? Aren't you excited?
Because I hope he's there so we can see his moves.
And Larry Loud is going to be there dancing the night away.
He's gonna be there.
Yes, but I can't promise that he's going to dance.
Oh.
I don't know, Larry. Are you going to be there? Because now Lexi wants to see you dance.
Yeah.
You done did it now.
I
So-
can't when people dance.
If guys and girls, if you want to come down and hang out with the band this Friday in Providence, Rhode Island, we'll be at Platforms. And we'll be
club.
dancing with Larry.
Yes, dance with Larry. Have
Yeah.
a dance party with Larry.
And now you're going to have to go watch that Mistress Carrie podcast after.
Yeah.
So, anyways, she explored how listeners might perceive Spirit Box as musically different based on their song selection. I love that. She's smart, man. The band maintains its commitment to artistic authenticity throughout their catalog. Jeez, that sounds like such a sepsis thing. She says, I wonder about this sometimes, like in an abstract way. If you just pick 3 random songs and each person picks 3 random songs of our discography, they would, maybe, depending on what they picked, have a completely different idea of the type of music our band plays, she said. Going on to say, quote, for me, personally, that's us not compromising ever about what we want to do and never changing our music to suit a certain audience or make a certain audience comfortable. I agree with this. I don't know if Melissa's hearing this, but this is kind of like what Sepsis has always been about, man.
Yeah. 100%.
While many metal fans cling to rigid genre expectations, Courtney LaPlante makes it clear that Spirit Box has no intention of playing by those rules. In the conversation, she also pointed out on how other music genres embrace evolution, whereas metal often resists it, especially when bands experiment with melody or accessibility. I can say that is true for our band also.
Mhm.
For LaPlante, this resistance isn't a concern. It's a sign that Spirit Box is operating on a different wavelength altogether. There you have it.
That's awesome.
And I'd love to do this one. And then I'll get out of here. Ice Nine Kills pushes merch using AI-generated imagery. Do you care?
No.
Fans care about this stuff. Would anybody care if Melissa generated the coolest image and then put it on a t-shirt? Would that bother people? Be honest. We don't do that. And we have no plans to make AI merch. We don't have any AI merch. But if we did, would you care? Would that matter to anybody? Does that matter to you?
No, because now
Hey. Oh. Larry said see you on Friday.
fuck yeah!
See?
Yo, I'm ready.
She's ready.
Now
So-
he's gonna what?
Yep.
Woo!
Yep.
It's a dance party now. I'm excited. It just heard me in the playback.
Yep. That's it.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's a party. Everyone come now because we're all going to dance. This just
I
got
heard
so
a lot
much
of
better.
No, I actually heard there was a few people going there that I didn't expect that's going. So I wasn't going to say nothing cuz I
love
don't
surprises.
Yeah, cuz I don't want to say they're going and then they don't show up and then I look dumb.
Surprise.
Yeah.
I love surprises.
Me too sometimes, as long as I can see them coming.
I love people surprises and food surprises.
Food surprises is all right as long as it's not cold.
Yeah. And blueberries.
Oh, bye, Larry Loud. Everybody say
Oh,
bye.
bye.
We'll give him the.
We'll see you on Friday.
Hopefully, we get to see Scott this year.
Fingers crossed.
We'll have to drive to New York this time. He's driven here a lot.
We gotta do one. Rochester.
That's too far. That's the other way. He's in the city.
Oh, he's in the city?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh. Only thing I worry about with doing shows in the city is parking.
Okay. So before we go, we have to tell everybody that it's probably. We are probably nearing the end of the William versus the World live stream.
Pause for crying.
Are you going to cry? No, don't cry.
My
So
insides are crying.
this may be one of the last and final episodes of this podcast. And I didn't want to make everybody cry.
Sad.
But we've been doing, this is the 126th episode of the William versus the World podcast, and I've had a lot of fun doing it. This isn't it. We still got a couple to go. But I think soon, guys, we're going to do a new podcast. And I don't want to tell you guys the name of it. I don't want to. Maybe we'll do a poll. And we'll have everybody.
Leave it up to the fans, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we'll just leave it up to everybody. But so just gear up. This will be the some of the final episodes. He said, "What? No way."
Oh.
Hold on, though. Hold on. But there's something bigger and better that will replace it.
Promise.
And this format will be a part of whatever we do next. So there will be parts of this show. And I can't tell you everything right now, but if you are a fan, he said, damn, I was glad they were able to support for the last few months. Well, you'll still be able to support our podcast and live streams. The opportunity is not going to go anywhere. But I think we're going to open up the podcast, and there's going to be some other people on it, like there used to be. If you are a fan of our older podcasts, like the Metal Honeys podcast, or we did the Honeycomb Hideout, and we used to do Swarm TV, and of course, this one here, William versus the World. So, two things are happening. I don't know when we're going to make the transition, but there will be a new podcast in place of this one, and it will still have elements of this show and include elements from the Honeycomb Hideout. It'll also include elements from Swarm TV. So think of the next podcast being William versus the World, the Honeycomb Hideout, and Swarm TV kind of wrapped into one with a new twist. And in other news, I know it's been something we've talked about for a while, and it probably won't happen just yet, but Melissa has taken a break from streaming for a couple years, and rumor has it she now too will be returning to streaming, and she will have a new stream coming out soon also. So we might be saying goodbye to William versus the World. Maybe we'll do like a William versus the World like segment or something in the podcast. But this will be a brand new podcast. It won't just be me on camera or talking. There'll be more commentators. It will be a combination of all of our favorite shows. And in addition, Melissa will be returning to the stream world. I'm not going to tell you what she's going to do. That's up to her and her fans and how they do that. But Melissa will be having her streams on Friday nights, and I will be having and hosting this stream Still, it will be on Wednesdays. It will be at 7 o'clock, as it always has been. It just won't be this stream. It's going to be something brand new. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. I hope to see you guys in future streams. Much love and respect. And I hope that if you guys get an opportunity to come out and rock some Sepsis shows with us, we don't have a ton of shows booked. If you haven't got out to see us, we're doing a lot of new music. We're playing a lot of new music coming up on stage. You don't want to miss it. Come out to a show. Come and hang out with us. And stay tuned. We got a lot coming out. New music, too. Stay tuned. New music, new shows. I love and appreciate all of you. Be good. Be kind.
Bye.
I forgot to hit the thing. Where is the world? The world. Yo, peace and love. Love you, Rick. Love y'all. Peace out, Scott. Love you, Scott. Much love.
Bye.
Yo, peace out, Josh. I see you, homie.